What's up, boys?
Hi, I'm Leetea Baker. Most of you guys know me as Frazier, but I'm married now, so yeah.
Names change.
Yes, it might be. You might need a fork or a knife.
Maybe. That's okay. Rice is pretty good though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love rice.
Yeah?
So that man over there.
You like rice too?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I love rice, like Spanish rice, and I like all rice, honestly.
I like food, bro.
I
Like,
do too. Like, I'm such a fat boy at heart. Like, I'm always. Anytime someone tells me like I got this new place, I'm like, let's go. You know what I mean?
yes.
Yeah, and that's why I love hanging with my Hispanic friends because I'm like, where are
Yep.
we going? Like, where are we going?
Yep, I had a friend literally. Every weekend we would hang out. She would take me to a different taco place.
What's your favorite taco place, Kansas City?
I don't know because she took me to so many authentic. I would have to shout out to Nunez Foods. Nunez Foods.
Nunez Food.
She works out of her home.
Oh, okay.
And the food is A1. You guys have to go try it.
Cool.
Nunez Foods, okay?
So Nune is. Wait, is her name?
I have her on Snap. I don't know. I'm not
I know
from
Nunez,
here.
but I can't remember her first name. She's gonna be mad if I don't know her first name. I used to work with her. She used to work at a gym.
I have no clue.
Oh, okay,
I just
cool.
found her food and I was like, dude.
Right. No. I like El Camino Royale. You know that place? No.
I've never no.
You and then Benito Michoacan.
I really feel like, you know.
Right. That's smack, isn't it? Isn't it?
I really feel like since I didn't grow up here like that, because I came down here to Kansas City at sophomore year.
Where are you from?
I'm from Topeka.
Oh, really?
Yeah, shout out to Top City. But yeah, I went to Washburn Rule out there. I don't know if you know what school that is.
No, I don't know anything about
I went from there from pre-K to freshman year.
Yeah.
And then I moved down here.
You know what's so crazy? Obviously I'm from the outskirts of Kansas City, but
Right.
the thing about Kansas City is even if you're from the outskirts, you're so close. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like other cities, it's like you have a big city and then a big suburb, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Like everywhere else, but Kansas City, it's like one block is rich, one block isn't, one block is this, one block is that.
You can have a really nice house on the most.
Right, and then you could
messed
here
up
there's
street.
crackheads down the street, you know what I
Right.
mean? So
No.
exactly. So that's the crazy thing about Kansas City. It's you know what I mean? So
Yes,
what
dude.
I didn't realize, I used to be I love Kansas City, but I didn't realize how much I love Kansas City until I went to Mexico, and these guys were talking shit. They never even been to Kansas City, and they were talking shit. He's from New York or something,
Yep.
and he was like, "Oh, you're from Kansas?" I said,
Yeah.
"Motherfucker, I don't live in a field.
Right.
I don't live in a field.
Oh my God,
I live
that's
right
how
by
I
the
felt.
city."
Yes, that's how I felt.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
They're
what are
like,
you
oh
talking
my gosh,
about?
your accent, you're so country. And I was like,
I
do
don't
you hear
even-
yourself talking?
Right.
Do you hear yourself?
I don't even understand. I went to Wisconsin, and they all thought I had a southern accent. I was like, I
To
feel
other
like I
people,
just-
we do.
Yeah, I guess.
They don't say pop, they say soda.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all like, dude. And they're
Right.
like, you talking about Coke? And I'm like, no, Mountain Dew? And they're like,
Wait, what do we say here?
pop. I say pop. I don't know
Pop?
about.
I think I say pop.
I don't know.
I don't
What
know.
do you say? Pop.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that I don't know what I say. Well, the thing is though, when I go somewhere else, even around here, they'll say you every now and then sound a little country. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, my family's a little country.
Yep.
On my dad's side, but it's I think it's more of our family because my grandma was British, and she had the thickest British accent. Yeah, dude, she was from the slums of England. And all she did was smoke, chain smoke cigarettes, and she's
crazy.
from northern England, so her voice is really thick. So I remember one time me and my cousin were on the couch jumping around, little badass kids, and she's like, "Get off the couch!" And I was like, "Oh, this bitch is scary." I was so scared. But she died when I was 4 or 5, and then that was my great grandma. Then my grandma, she came here when she was 13, so. It Americanized out,
Right.
I guess, but she still
That's
had
how I
something.
feel because my grandma, her mom and her dad's from Mississippi. And
Right.
then
Mississippi's thick.
my grandma's they're from Louisiana, my great grandma. So when my grandma, she's like, I'm gonna go to Walmart's. I'm gonna go to Walmart. I'm like, it's Walmart, Grammy. I'm gonna go to Walmart. I need to go to Aldi's. And I'm
With the
like,
S.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Those are my grandma says Chipotle's. I'm
My
like,
grandpa
it's
was
Chipotle.
like, he was like, what is Chipotle? And I was like, and my sister, she'll say Chipotle.
Chipotle?
Chipotle.
Oh,
my
yeah,
God,
I say Chipotle sometimes.
And then Target is Target.
Oh, yeah, Target.
Yep.
I hate Target. I worked at Target. Did you really?
Yeah.
The worst job I've ever had in my entire life.
What shift?
Which one did you work at?
I worked 5 in the morning.
Well, oh, I did. Yes, I did. That was
first.
horrible. But did you
Bro.
work? Which Target did you work at?
Mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Right-
really?
right-
I did too. Oh, we went to different times then. Yeah. Those bitches, man. I'm telling you. Look. First off, you're the first lady on my podcast, so
Hey.
yes, finally.
Hello.
But I have nothing wrong with women being my boss, right? I love.
Oh,
I have
boy,
no
here we
problem.
go.
I have no
Uh-huh.
problem. But these bitches, I was like, dude, I had so many, like, and they try to make it like that too. They're like, you just don't want a woman to be your boss. I was like, I've had many women bosses, and they're not like you. Like, they're just like.
I think that
you're
some
just-
there's no. I get that because when I worked at the hospital,
right.
we
Well,
just
men,
like
no, I get it,
there's a
'cause
lot
men,
of. Yeah, but there's like a lot of women, and it was like it's a competition thing. It really is.
They get mad at each
yes,
other. They
yes,
get pissed.
it's a competition
Well,
thing.
And here's the thing, I get it, because, like, my bosses now, which I don't really talk about where I work at now on
Right,
the podcast,
I
but,
feel
like,
you.
my boss is now, like, my boss is a chick, she's cool as fuck, and I get it, like, the way she talks to me sometimes, it's not like, it's like she's asking me, and I'm like, and I think she got that from, like, I think when she, like, asked men, like, or told men, like, hey, go do this, they
Right.
get, like, an attitude, because they're like, I don't want a woman telling me
Right,
what to
so
do.
she's automatic.
So she's automatic. So I tell her,
she's-
like,
yeah.
you're good. Like, I'm not going to be, you're my boss. I'm not going to talk back to you.
Right.
They might. And she's like, well, she's a tough bitch. I'm not going to lie. She's cool as fuck, dude. She's a tough bitch. Wait, you went to Harmon, right? She went to Harmon, actually. I don't know when she she went to Harmon and Turner. I don't know. I guess I probably don't want to say her name on the podcast,
Oh my
but
gosh.
I don't know. I asked a couple people I know from Harmon. They don't know her, though. But either way, she's a tough bitch. She's cool as fuck. Yeah, she's awesome. But yeah, so when she asked me to do something, I'm like, you don't gotta act. Like, you can just say, Luke, go
Right.
do this. I'm not gonna be pissed off.
But some
like,
women won't do that. Some women think all men are the same.
Like,
so.
I'm like, I get I'm short, but I don't got little man syndrome. So you can just like, I don't care.
Right, but it's a preconceived thing that, oh, well, if one man's gonna have a problem with it, all of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
but-
Right.
There's plenty of men in the world that have different personalities. You know what I mean? Not
Right.
all of them are the same.
Right.
So I feel like she needs to just take the time.
Mm-hmm.
But,
For
you know,
sure.
a lot of people aren't going to do that because you're the boss. So
Right.
you just, okay, well, if you don't respect me, that's your problem.
Right.
But if you guys have a mutual thing, it'll work better in
Right.
the end.
Well, I don't know how you felt, but like when I worked at Target, it was one of those things where you did extra stuff
Oh
and
my
they'd
God.
still bitch about it. And I'm like, because every job I try to go like above and beyond, I try to like do a little extra, so
Yep.
it's like, okay, I'm not gonna be that guy, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And just after a while, it was just like I was like, all right, I don't care anymore. It's
Yep.
whatever, you know.
Yep.
And they had a meeting about me. They're like, Luke, why don't you care anymore? I'm like, because you bitches
Bro.
don't respect, like you don't respect the
Yep.
extra work I do. Because they didn't like that I didn't kiss their ass. That was their whole
Yep.
thing. They were just mad that. I felt like a sprinkle. I don't know. Yeah, there's no clouds though, so I don't know what the fuck. But what's going on in the Matrix?
Oh my gosh.
But seriously, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't
No,
know.
dude. That's how I felt like working all those summers outside.
Yeah. You were you head guard for a while?
Mhm.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then doing swim instructing, like they like wanted. I was like, I don't think people understood how busy I was because I was like, I had graduated early,
Right.
so I was
remember that.
I was
yeah.
in college
Forgot about that.
working, and then studying. You know, that's a lot to do
Right.
with, and so like I feel like some jobs just have to like understand. I'm like, we have to take time. You have to take time for yourself because
Right.
if you don't take time for yourself, you're not gonna be worth shit
Right.
for nobody.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, it's like when they drain you and then you come back the next day and you're like, look, dude, I had homework till this
Right.
amount of time and
It's
all
like
that.
it doesn't just end with you. Like I still have to go home and do things after.
There was this one girl who, you didn't know her because she came when I came, so, yeah. But she just like, oh, you got to stay and be productive. I was like, I have a life outside of work. Like, you guys do not pay me enough. You guys do not pay me enough to just to be like staying here for 10 hours
Right.
or whatever. Like, don't get me wrong, if I want the extra shift, I'll pick it up.
Yep.
But I'm not gonna do it because like
Yep.
you kiss your ass, you know. But are you still doing school or what?
So that's the thing. I'm on pause right now because life has been happening, my friend. A lot has
Go
been
ahead,
happening.
my bad.
You're fine. You're fine. Just a lot's been happening. So I'm trying to regroup,
Right.
get back to myself. I've been really focusing on music lately.
Really?
So,
Yeah, I know you've been singing, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
You know what I love about you is that like most people like our age, they like whatever's like new. You know what I mean? But like I could play a song and you'll be like I was playing like punk rock
Yep.
and you'll be like, I know that
Yeah,
song. I'm like, no one our age
Yep,
knows that. Like
yep.
when I go around my friends and I play something, they're like, what's this? I'm like, you didn't have an older brother showing
Right.
you that
No,
shit.
like
you
that's,
know what I mean?
yes. My grandparents raised me and my sisters, so like I had a variety of things.
Right.
So that we listened to everything. We traveled all the time. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you gotta have a long playlist. You gotta have something because
Yeah.
we didn't have like TVs and stuff. Like we didn't always have. We had like Game Boys and stuff, but
Right.
like.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit in silence. I'm not used to sitting in
Yeah,
silence now.
yeah.
I'm always playing
For
something
sure.
now.
What is like? Do you have like a favorite genre, or is it just kind of all over the place?
Honestly,
I'd
I
say-
listen. Yeah, I listen to about everything.
Really?
Because at one point I'd be like, I wasn't really into country, but like I like country now.
Really?
I'm slowly
What
getting
kind
into
of
it.
I'm real specific on my country.
Like, I don't even know if it classifies as country, but I like the Civil Wars. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They're really good. They're a duet. So with country, I don't know. Like Sugarland, is that?
I don't even know.
I don't even know.
You don't
Oh
listen
my
to country?
gosh, you guys.
No, I don't. I used to like only be like hip hop.
Right.
Since I was 11 to like whatever, I was like I'm a hip hop connoisseur.
Right.
I know everything about like I would know everything, old, new, all this. But then like I don't know, just because some of the new guys, I like the newest stuff, I guess sometimes. But for a while, I was just like kind of sounded the same. Like I
Right.
think hip hop, I think all music, but I guess since I paid attention to hip hop, it gets in that loop of like everyone's trying to sound alike. I guess
Right.
So I don't know. I had to get out of it, and I started listening to just like other stuff. Like, I listen to funk now. I love funk,
Yes.
like old funk.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah,
I already know.
I have
Already
a
know
whole
it.
playlist of funk.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude,
yeah,
this
dude.
is the shit. And then what's cool about it is like so much rap, like samples a lot.
It's
from
in
funk.
yes,
And so you're
dude.
like, oh, I know
Literally,
this song.
yes.
You're like, yeah.
That's what I literally will do in the car. Like I'll be like, oh, I know this beat, and I'll tell him, and he goes, how did you do that? And I'm like, I just know
Have an
music.
ear for
Well,
it,
because
yeah.
I was in band too. Like in Topeka, I was in band and choir.
Right.
So I played the sax, and I was first soprano. So that's what I've been working on is my range. Because after having my daughter, I've been able to sing like way lower notes than what I usually
Right.
can. So like I just been experimenting with that. Just been in the studio working on my album.
Right.
So
Really, you're
Yeah.
working on an album.
Yeah,
so
dude.
what is the genre of the album? Is there really even a genre to it?
it's really not because
That's good.
I have
I
so
like
many
that.
influences.
Right.
So like you don't know what you'll get with each song, but it's
Right.
all gonna be together though, and cohesively,
Right.
in a weird way, but in my way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like artists that don't have a genre. Like when you think of like Kid Cudi.
Mhm.
Would you even really call Kid Cudi a rapper? Like I guess you would, but like he's never in anyone's like top 10. But
Yeah.
he's like everyone loves Kid Cudi.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. He's
So I
just
like-
everybody's fave.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone likes it, so it's like stuff like that. I don't know, and even Kanye. Well, Kanye's definitely a rapper, but like, you know what I mean. But even like Kanye's music is always it's like out there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I don't know who else really to think of that's like really no genre.
Fucking Christian album of the year or something like that.
Who? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he had
he
that
did.
Christian album.
Yeah, that was
Actually,
gospel.
bangers, though, like-
Yeah.
I did. I
That
didn't.
were bangers.
I liked it, but I didn't like. He pissed me off because Dr. Dre remixed that whole album, and he didn't. And I love Dr. Dre
Right.
like, to death. So like
I
Dr.
like
Dre,
Eminem.
yeah, and, well, yeah. I
That's
love
what we be
Eminem.
listening to.
Yeah, yeah. I thought I heard something. I was like, what the fuck? When you said that video, I was like, no. I like Dr. Dre. No, I love Dr. Dre. Let me rephrase that. and he, not in that way, no. He
I know what you
redid the
mean.
album and made it more intense, and Kanye was like, no, I don't like it, it's too intense. And I was like, bro, it's Dr. Dre. Just
Right,
fucking-
it's in his style.
Right, just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I get that. That's how artists are,
Yep.
you know.
But yeah, that's what I'm really working on right now, and I'm really excited. So yeah, stay tuned with that.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, so like, what's been going on, man? Like, we haven't seen each other in
I
like
know, it's crazy, right? I was telling you, I was
forever.
like, this is wild. And then finally meeting you, because I was like, I've been hearing about you for like years now from her.
Yeah.
So when did you guys first meet?
So we met at the gym.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Maybe that's where I
Yeah, you've
recognize
seen
you
him
from.
before. Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, so how long, what is it, like 4 or 5 years you guys been?
5 years.
5?
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years.
And then you guys been married for how long?
It's going to be 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's my sweetheart right
Congratulations.
there.
Yeah, I can tell. I love your guys' relationship because she's just like, you know, like posing in the mirror, and then you see you in the background like playing video games.
Yeah, he just balances me out because I'm crazy, and then he's my calm to my crazy. But like, he's also crazy too, so like it just works
he's
out.
Crazy. Yeah, you can't have two crazies, like two.
Oh,
two,
yeah, no.
Two crazies, like two. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I've tried that too many times. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
doesn't
I
work.
just. And then it's just communicating. I feel like if everybody communicates in the world, a lot of more stuff would get solved. I really do.
Yeah,
I really
and
do.
that's a big thing. I feel like I wanted to talk to you about. Like, I don't know. It's just everything is that's one reason why I started this, right?
Right.
Because communication's key. And you make a status, and everyone fucking is like, why did you blah 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 blah? I was like, I didn't mean it like that, like, or
Yeah.
I didn't, you know what I mean? It's like, and then like the other day, I said something about like I feel like our generation like is just like. I feel like we have a lot of good stuff,
Yeah.
but our bad side is we get like, we're so sensitive. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
But I feel like the generation after us is even more sensitive. You know what I mean?
I do. I think the generation under us is,
you know,
yeah.
with the fads, those always come back. So like the stuff that we liked as kids are now becoming popular again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Our
like 80s
music,
clothes,
yep,
90s
yes,
clothes,
yes,
yeah. Mhm.
yes, like that. You know. Yeah, I feel like it always repeats itself.
Right.
Like in school, that's what we learned about. Well, you had to take like a fashion class.
Right.
Growing up in Topeka, and you had to sew buttons and everything, but like there was an actual teaching, an actual curriculum, and I feel like if people understood it more, they'll understand themselves more.
Right.
So if you understand yourself more, you won't get offended by stuff because if it doesn't apply to you, leave it alone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, that's well, if it's like, if it doesn't like fit your reign of like, if
Right.
you can't grab it, like you can't reach out,
Right.
like, why are you getting mad?
Yep.
Which, don't get me wrong, like sometimes I hear shit, I'm like, that's so fucking stupid.
Yes.
You know what I
and
mean?
But it's so like, do you think like
Right.
what? How did we get here? What did you do? Like,
well, I don't know. Maybe it's just the source of information.
yeah. I
Like,
feel
we have so much information. Like, I didn't know what a fucking furry was 10 years ago, but now everybody knows what a furry is, like, from the internet. And it's like, well, when you think about it, there's probably always people like this.
Yep.
Now they just
There's
have a way
people
to
who- yeah.
communicate with each other online.
And
you
I
know
feel
what
like
mean?
with COVID, a lot of people have had it's a disconnect.
Right.
They'd rather be in, you know, this is the time to regroup and find yourself because, you know, I've been through hell and back, you know what I
Right,
mean?
of course.
But I'm taking it in a positive way. Like, yeah, COVID is crappy. We can't all get together all the time. You know what I mean? But take this time to figure yourself out and figure out what you want to do.
Right.
Because I feel like people don't do that. They're so focused on like pleasing other people. You know what I mean? Not really doing what they.
Yeah.
So they're unhappy with themselves. So then they project it to social
Yeah,
media.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yes, because when I have people on here, and sometimes we'll have a conversation about something, and then I know they're just agreeing with me just because they don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But I'm
I
like,
don't-
it doesn't have to be an argument.
Yeah, it doesn't have
I'd
to
be
be an
like,
argument. We can
that's
just
why we
talk
got
about
along because I'd be
something.
like, Luke.
Right,
I'd be like,
exactly.
every time I'd be like, Luke, what the fuck are you doing? I'd be like, what are
Exactly.
you doing? Every time. And he's like, he'll explain it. And I'm like, okay, this is why. And he's
Right.
like, oh. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be an argument.
Right.
But people get defensive. You know what I mean? I'm listening to what you're saying. And I'm like, okay, listen, dude.
Right. Well, I was joking around with someone today at work, and actually I kind of saw it on a different perspective because because I'm quick, you know, I'm quick with
Yeah.
comebacks, you know
Yes.
what I mean? I'm witty, okay? So on a good day, and it was a good day today, and
He's
he
like,
kept
"You found the
fucking
right
with me.
one."
Yeah. I was like, he kept fucking with me. So I just kept spitting stuff back to him like real quick, and then he just kept like getting real defensive. And then on break, I said, "Dude, you know, I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just being honest with you. You get really defensive.
Yeah.
Like you can't come at me, and then when I say something back, you get." And then I respect his answer actually when I think about it, because he goes, "It's not that I'm getting defensive," which he was, but it's not that he's like, "I'm not getting defensive. I'm just not as quick as you. So when I fuck with you and you fuck with me back, I can't like I can't fight." Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, well now that makes sense, because you know, when you have a comeback and then like
they keep talking.
Right, and then but you can't think of one, and you like try to say it and it's too long, it doesn't work. Like it's like, yeah, well guess what? Your socks don't match and all this, and I'm like, fucking stupid, you know?
Like,
it's like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So I understood that, and I was like, okay, that actually, he's like, my brain just doesn't work like that. Like, I'm better at other stuff. I can't, like, communicate very well.
I've learned I have to be quick, because, like, people underestimate, like, short people, because I'm short, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, she's not gonna do nothing. I was like, try again. Like, I've always, but I've always, like, try again, you know what I mean? Why are you gonna pick on me? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta come with it, and being the youngest. Because I'm the youngest.
Yes, too. Hey, we're both short. We're both the youngest. Yeah, that's why we got along. That's that was our connection.
Yep.
That makes sense.
And we just minded our business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
And then
sure.
like if people, I'm like, you want to say some slick shit, like say it with your chest. You know what I mean? Because like we can have this conversation. Because you know most people going to the school we went to, they wouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, one thing I thought about our school is, like, people definitely, at least in my grade, I thought people generally got along pretty well.
Right. We're the same class, right?
When did you graduate? 2018? Well, you graduated early, right?
Yeah, I graduated early.
I thought you're above me.
No, I was 17.
Oh, okay. Huh. When did you come here again?
I graduated.
City?
I got here, I went to Piper when I first got here.
Oh, wow.
And so then I didn't come there until junior year.
Isn't that kind of a country school? I'm just wondering, because every time I hear Piper, everyone says it's a country school.
Let me tell you, like, my English teacher, I had a kid in my class, and he was like, he was talking to our English teacher, and he was like, "What time do you want me to come mow your lawn?" And I like looked at him, I said, "What? What?" They're neighbors. They live all the way out, and she was older, so he mowed her lawn.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm like, I was like,
that's a little strange.
I was like, so how long have you, like, everybody?
How long have you been mowing lawns? How long has the lawn been mowed?
But like, I'm like looked up, like, I was like, the fuck? Like, what did he just say? And then I didn't know everybody. Everybody was together from pre-K, and then I'm a new face.
Right.
I could not. No.
I never dealt with that being the new kid. I guess I dealt with. Oh man.
I was
always the new kid. I had when I was young, because I moved from around here to out in the country, and then, but I didn't go to school out in the country. I went to school in Leavenworth. Which was different. It was really different. But it was cool because you had like everyone of everything in my class, now that I think of it. Yeah, there were Italian kids. I didn't grow up with Italian kids. There's Italian families in my class.
Oh my gosh.
There's Italian, black, white, Hispanic, everyone you could think of. So I was like, I feel like at a young age, like I guess that's cool
crazy.
To get everybody, you know what I mean?
That's not how I was raised. It was literally predominantly white.
Really?
Washburn Rule was predominantly white.
Like, I don't know Topeka, so
my gosh. So you have Washburn Rule, Topeka High, Topeka West, Shawnee Heights, Seaman.
I had a teacher, Miss Seaman.
Bro, they're the Trojans too.
The Trojans? Wow. Can't change the name.
But yeah,
We're
like it was the town on the side of the town I was raised was predominantly white. So like we were like the only black kids.
Did that suck?
On our block. I mean,
feel like maybe that's a stupid question.
I mean, compared.
I don't know.
Compared to coming down here, compared to coming down here and then living up there, I definitely prefer this.
Really? Well,
I
feel like more people are accepting.
Yes.
You know.
Because
I don't know. I feel like as a kid, because like when I was a kid, my mom worked in KCK. So all the kids I went and hung, because I didn't hang out around here. I didn't have any friends in elementary school. I did, but it was at school. So after school, I hung around with Hispanic kids, and like, it's weird though, because now I feel like how things are. Things teach you to like notice, like,
right.
You know, because
like, I hung out with everybody. I hung out with everybody.
Right.
Even though there wasn't like I literally knew like all the black kids in my grade.
Right.
That's how many like of us there were not.
We all knew each other. It was crazy, like.
And then it was just a mutual like, okay,
right.
You know what I mean? But like, I feel like that's what shaped. Even though like it was predominantly white, like the programs for music, sports, and everything was top tier. So I think that has a lot to do with my my musical, background. And then
white people have a view of your music.
Listen, we with competitions, like they took that stuff serious.
Okay,
So like choir competitions, band competitions, like like.
Okay, because white music usually just don't mix.
I mean, I love me some Bee Gees now, okay?
Some Bee Gees? Like...
Bee Gees? Mm-hmm. Yes, okay.
Yeah,
they can get down,
like
too.
I like them. Yeah, but you gotta be that white boy, you know what I mean? You can't just be like, it's like Justin Timberlake or like, Jason Aldean or something like that.
Who's that?
Who's that?
A country singer. See,
Oh,
exactly,
okay, I was
like... So, obviously, you know Justin Timberlake because he has moves, you know what I mean? So.
But like, I mean... I'm dibbling and dabbling, and I'm trying to get my musical like all around experience. Like I'm not allowing. I'm not trying to get stuck in one genre.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing, because like with the music industry, they want to put you in a classification.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Sure. They want you. Oh, you need to go this way. But I feel like that's why, like, record labels and everything. That's why people with artists. That's why the biggest competition is expressing yourself the way you want to, and then having a record label wanting you to do it a certain way,
and then just cater to how things are. And I feel like that's why a lot of artists will like go to shit, because then you just see the same repetitive shit over and over, and it's like sounds like everyone else.
Right. And so by the time you want to fix it, you're kind of like
exactly.
Off.
Yeah, you're off. You know,
Yeah.
it's like if you are a comedian stealing jokes, and then you do your own jokes, they're gonna be shitty because you just stole someone else's.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's a weird analogy, but I just thought of it. You know?
It makes sense though.
It does make sense. But when you say so, if it has no genre, like my favorite albums, honestly, are like I'm not even in the shot. My favorite albums are like an album that it all has one, not sounds the same like every song, but it has one like it has one vibe, one tone to it. I hate using the word vibe because
I know what you mean.
Same energy, that's better. Energy to it. Yeah, like Marshall Mathers. If you hear a Marshall Mathers LP, you're like, God damn, this motherfucker wants to kill somebody, or some DMX back in the day, like or
give it to you. Gonna give it to you.
Oh no. Dude, and then oh God, I love DMX.
I'm telling you, bro.
DMX,
yes.
Man. I love, and then like you find out like he was a crackhead while he made that, and you're like, God, that makes so much sense. Like as a kid, I was like, nah, whatever. And then now you're like, wow, that makes so much sense. But the cool thing about him was like he made that whole album, his first album, in a closet, and like I can't remember if something happened to his jaw, where it broke and it was wired shut, and he was screaming so loud you could hear the wires crackling. I was like, that
sounds like some 50 Cent mess when he got shot.
Right, and 50 having like the hugest debut album like of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, is your album, back to like we got off task, but like I do that a lot.
No, you're fine.
Is your album like, do you feel like it has one energy to it, or is it just kind of like a free for all?
Right now, when it comes to my music process, I think it's a matter of making my music and then picking the songs that I want to drop together. The ones that I feel. You're telling a story, but you have to tell it in order.
Right.
So I feel like, most people's albums, they are connected, and when they make different albums, they all kind of have the same vibe.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's my ultimate goal.
So have you made songs that you're like, this definitely isn't going on my album, but this is going to go on something else?
Yeah, I have.
Right.
It would be like, okay, I was like, this is a rough draft, next. It's like, I'll come back to that. But
What's it like to throw away? Do you just throw away songs, or do you keep them? Like maybe I can use them.
I keep them like I have a notebook, and so I write all my songs down. And then if I'm like, okay, I don't want to work on this right now, I'll rip it out and I'll put it up.
Right.
And then I'll come back to it where I'm like, okay, I have like literally I go boom 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 in my head. I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And then I'll like literally just like be walking or in the shower or watching TV, and I'll be like, oh, that will work. Just lyrics.
Right.
I'm just always going through my head.
Right.
Day-to-day stuff.
That's
It's
cool.
some weird stuff. I'll just be like,
that is crazy how people, when you hear rappers and just songwriters in general just like talk about how they go through the process of writing music, I feel like it never makes sense to anyone because it's your own style.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like everyone has their own way of writing and stuff like that.
yeah.
And that's like for me, like wanting to get into comedy, like I don't know how these comedians write their jokes, so I'm just sitting here like, like writing fucking dick and fart jokes. Like, oh, this is gonna be funny, and then I read it.
But that's the thing, like, you've always been funny. You know what I mean?
Right, but that comes from being a fat kid, so that's.
I never saw it as that. I just saw
Right.
he's just being, yeah.
Right. Well, but the thing is with that, like, you could be naturally funny, but like then you can go on stage and just not, like, it doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah. You know.
It's hard to plan it.
Yeah. Oh, that's how it is with music, though.
Right.
It's the same. It's the same process. Cause like what you think might sound good, you know what I mean. You have to perfect it. You have to perfect your craft.
Well, that's the thing is everyone's funny. It's just a matter. Well, maybe not everyone, but like everyone has like humor to them, and like it's just a matter of like you said, it's the heat of the moment. Like it's like, well, that was funny. Oh, I'm gonna write that down. But then like you write it down, and then I read it. What the fuck was I talking about here? Like that is the stupidest fucking thing I have ever heard. What were we even talking about?
Your comedy.
Oh yeah, comedy. I guess. Well, I want to talk about you more. But
Okay, no, you're fine. I mean,
well, okay. So when you're writing, like that's the more curious thing is like, have you ever written something and then you actually just like read it and was like, this?
so
can't
this
work.
is the thing. Like I've always written poetry. I've always been known for like to be the poet, the rapper. I'd always, rap Nicki Minaj. I was always the musical person. So like I think just listening to them and then listening to the rappers that came before, and just perfecting what I do. I've tried to write raps. You know what I mean?
And
it doesn't sit right. But then now that I'm into my singing and doing both, like it's starting to come together. But it takes time. It's taken a lot of time because I'm constantly every day, bettering myself, bettering my voice, working on exercises because like my voice has changed since high school, since freshman year, since when I first started. So I'm more like, there's artists that like I can't really sing as much, but like I'm finding new artists.
Okay.
Cause like everybody, I feel like there's artists out there like Dua Lipa, like people like that, like they didn't get to where they were sounding like somebody else. You know what I mean? They're in their own lane and they're starting their own lane. I feel like that's what makes people an artist.
Right, great.
You
separate
respect,
from
yes,
everyone
you
else.
respect you respect the people who became
Right.
who were before you. Good lord.
You'll get it.
You'll get it.
It's a whole mouthful, but like you respect the people before you that came before you.
Right.
Yes.
Sound it out. To today, June.
So-
From the top.
But yeah.
From the top.
It's the best thing. It's the best feeling. Like I'm getting used to hearing my voice with everything. Cause
That
like,
is hard. I'm like, I'm so fucking
because
stupid
like
when I hear my voice.
I used
But
to
you sing,
harmonize.
so it's good.
I used to harmonize with myself. Like I would sit in my room, sing a verse, and then switch keys, and then do a three part harmony.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, but so you harmonize with your. So like while so basically what you're doing is so you can hear yourself sing.
Yeah. So I'll do a recording singing in one key,
Okay.
and then I'll record it, and then I'll sing it while it's going
Oh. Okay.
in a different key.
Oh,
and then I do it
okay.
again.
Isn't that annoying because it's off beat or no?
If you have like metronomes, so you can stay on beat, and then with the studio, like you can, if it's too fast or too slow, you can put it on the same. It'll be on the same speed, on the same length.
Okay. Yeah,
So.
no, I'm understanding it. I know you just think I'm like talking to a big dumb. Like, oh, okay. No, I actually do understand. I'm getting it. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. Now I like when I see movies and them doing that. I'm like, oh, that's what they're doing. Yeah. For
So
sure.
it's lit, but it's a process. It's tiring. You get frustrated.
Right.
But like.
But it's a good frustration.
Yeah.
Like, you love it. Like, I like with this podcast. Like, there's certain times that I'm like either editing or something happens and I'm just so stressed out and frustrated. Or if I book too many people like in 1 week, which I've done, and I'm like, fuck.
Right.
And then, but like it's a good. I love the frustration. I'm like, I'm not like, it's not like going to work or going to practice or some shit like that. Like, you know, I actually like being frustrated. I guess I choose my I read a book that says you choose like what you. I usually don't necessarily choose, but you choose some of your stress, right? Like you choose what to be pissed off about. It's like, should I be pissed at this or this?
Yep.
So,
and I've had that's like what I've been working on is learning to let go of stuff that you can't control.
Yeah, right.
Because if if you can't do nothing about it, what are you gonna stress over?
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah. I've gotten a lot better at that. Like, a lot better at that because dude, I'd just be pissed off at like everything when I was younger. Like, and I've always been like, just resort to like joking around.
Yep.
But even that, like, I can like snap on a dime because I'm like just had it up to here and all that, right? But like what's good now is like you get older, you learn like, all right, like why would I even give a fuck what this person said or how this person said it? That's really not even. It's not even like what people. It's how they say it. You know what I mean? And you're like.
Like you'd be like, your delivery could have been better. You could have done this better. You could have did. You know what?
Right.
You said it how you said it.
Right.
So I'm gonna take it how you say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let it just
let it go.
Yep.
Right. And honestly, it's like not being a pushover, but like just like, okay, I'm just gonna let it. Because what's the sense of getting mad over it? Or like when you have an argument or a conversation. And then, like, later in your day, you're like, fuck, I should have said that. Like, that was so good.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Every day when I worked at Target.
Yeah, yes,
yes. Greg, you're going to fucking get it tomorrow.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Just fucking wait, bro. 5 o'clock, I'm on your head, boy. It's like straight off the top. I'm telling you. Oh,
that's so true.
He would come home, he'd be like, I'm like, what is wrong? And he was like, I just can't stop.
I hate it, Greg.
That's crazy. Because
if I remember his last name, I'd say it.
I can't pronounce his last name, so I can't say it. But
that is crazy. But
that's crazy. Well, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. I'm on your head. 5 o'clock. I'm on your head. Oh, that's great. That's fucking great. No, that is. I was the exact same way. I swear to God. And you know what? Now that where I work now, there's like 5 people who work at Target, and they have the exact same expression. Like, they're like, I come home, everyone's wondering, why are you pissed? It's like, I'm just fucking mad. Like, fuck this job. Because it's the easiest job, but like they make it so hard, and you're like, fucking 2-year-old could do this, and you're make me feel stupid for some reason.
That's how I felt, but now I'm at home, making sure he's taken care of, working on music, you know. Hopefully I can go back to work soon. But right now, you know, I'm just working on my being diagnosed with PTSD and depression. But like music helps that. Like music is therapy, dude. Like there's days where I'm like, I don't want to go to the studio. I don't want to do this. But then like I'll start writing. And then I'll be like, all right, bro.
If that kicks in, if that kicks in, does that like just calm it down and like set your anxiety, your PTSD when you write, when you do music? Does that just like kind of cancel it out or chill it down?
Yeah, like I'll have to, cause like I'm working on my triggers right now because it's a process, especially like not really going to therapy like that, cause you know therapy's expensive, dude. You know what I mean?
I had to take it when I got arrested. I was like, why are you here? I'm like, I don't know. And it's like, I'm 2 years old. I did this.
yeah. Like a lot of, and then you just don't realize how much your childhood traumas affect how you are now. And so like that's what I'm working through. But music helps that. And I feel like people really need to take this time if they're able to like focus on themselves, because I'm learning to work through these triggers, because like I will like zone out. Like I will just disassociate altogether. So it's like I'll just like zone out. Like he said like I was talking to you and I was like, oh.
And you just don't.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it's always like when you see like, because here's the thing about like PTSD specifically, people always like associate it with like a war, someone who's in war and stuff like that. But like no one ever associates it with like your childhood or just a really traumatizing moment or something like that, because that is real. Like, and people don't like realize that. And like, but that is like when you see like in a movie or something, like someone having PTSD, like that's like kind of how it's portrayed. You know what I mean? But it is, I don't know. It's out of this world that what you can do to like ease yourself down. You know what I mean? I did meditating for a while. I did all that, and you're right. Like your childhood traumas, childhood traumas, like they really do come back. Cause, like, I used to get into fights with my step. We used to like beat the shit out of each other. Me and my old stepdad. So like, and that like as a kid, you're like, oh, fuck it, whatever.
Right.
But then you get older, you're like, that was kind of fucking.
Yeah, you're
up.
like that wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
And so like that's why I feel like, at a sense, like I feel like that's why we're so funny to a sense though, because like you deal with so much darkness. Like, how else are you supposed to deal with it? I'm not gonna sit here and cry every day. You know what I mean?
Have you ever met a person who was funny? Like, you never, like, I know people who like have like the easiest like up their lives, and I'm like, dude, you have no sense of humor whatsoever. Like, any person who's funny, like, they're a little bit damaged from something. You know what I mean?
And that's what I had to learn, because I was so serious all the time. Like, I used to be so serious, but like he brought like
so annoying. It's like I say some funny shit and I'm dying, and she's over here like, why the fuck would you say that? Like, that's not funny. And I'm like, yo, we are dying over here. Like, what's wrong? It took like at least like close to 3 years for her to really kind of understand. Like, okay, that shit was kind of
just been through a lot, dude. You know what I mean?
But that's crazy, because I've always known you to have a good sense of humor,
bro. That's because
maybe it just made me laugh because you gave me those looks, like those like mean looks.
Yeah, because I was an asshole, like on some real shit. Like, if someone was like, "What are you looking at?" I don't care. Like, can I help you? Because like people there, like, they will walk all over you if you let them. And I'm like, listen, dude, I don't mean to be a dick, but listen, I will talk shit until you leave me alone.
So do you feel like he kind of brought your sense of humor out?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
For sure,
he balanced me out.
That's good.
Because, like, this, and then, I made him be more serious because he would joke about everything.
I joke about everything.
That's how I am, dude. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I can't help it. Like, that's just
every time I see you, I'm like, I feel like we get along so well.
And that's why I was like, that's why I was saying, I was like, you guys just need to just meet up one day.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
That's, yeah. Well, that's how it is. Like, I'm the same way. I'm like, I just gotta make a joke right now. Like, I can't, it's gotta come out. Like, I can't, I don't know. I just like joking because, like, I don't want to be pissed off and serious about shit. If I take life too seriously, it's just like, I don't know, it just gets boring, I guess. You know? I don't know.
Yes. Honestly, it does. Because that's how I felt. I was like, I had nothing. And then here comes this goofball shaking everything up. But it's lit. It is lit when you find your soulmate, dude. It's lit.
So I've heard. Yeah, for sure. What, I mean, so like when you get angry, like if you get angry right now, like you just got pissed off, like what are your, like, do you got like some 5 steps situation to do?
My thing is, like, it's not healthy, but like I just shut down, like, because I'm like,
a lot of people are like that,
because like when someone triggers me, they'll leave. If it's a person that did it, they'll leave. But then he's stuck with me. You know what I mean?
He's like, great.
Right. And so, like, I'm not going to sit up here and cuss him out and go off and I'm just going to shut down, or I'll just go to sleep.
Right.
I will go to sleep.
Right.
Take a depression nap.
Yeah, that's like the big thing of depression. You should take a nap, right? Take a depression nap.
You know what? Let me just take a nap. I'm just lay down.
Right. But that is like when I felt like I've been. I think everybody experiences depression just at a different level. You know what I mean? And like, I don't think I've ever had it severe, but I've definitely had depression in my life before. And like, those are like the moments in life where I'm like, I just want to fucking sleep. Yeah. Like, fuck it. Like, because then I don't deal with it.
Like, yeah, when I lost Gianna, when we lost our daughter, I was like, I just want to sleep.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then they gave me meds, and I was like, all right, it numbs the pain, but I'm like, I felt like a zombie. Right. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want to be on this. I was like, I just need to deal with the pain. I didn't want to deal with it, but like, it's scary, and that's what people don't realize. Like, you'd rather ignore and act like it's not there. But I'm like, what are you gonna do when something just doesn't go your way that one day, and then everything, you know what I mean?
Right.
It just blows up. You gotta learn how to cope.
Right.
And I feel like our generation is so focused on trying to be okay all the time, but I'm like, it's okay to not be okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's okay.
Right.
We're gonna have bad days. Our family, our parents, our grandparents, they had plenty of bad days before they got to where they, you know, were
100%.
okay. I'm proud of myself. I did good. Oh, I almost gave up. You know, but you don't give up.
Right.
You just, you know, cope through it, work through it, and
Right. Well, and that's just such a traumatic thing to like even.
Oh yeah.
No one. And I said, I don't mean to get into it.
Oh
too
no,
much,
you're fine.
You know
No,
what I mean?
we can talk about it. I'm
right,
fine with it.
right.
Yeah.
But most people don't know what that feels like.
Mhm.
So it is probably just like not maybe a lonely thing to feel. I guess I don't know. Like I said, I don't know.
It's a different perspective, and I feel like women out there who have been through it have to understand the man goes through something too, just as much as the woman does, but in a different way.
For sure.
So like, you know, people would be like, oh well, we were shocked, you know, because you guys went through so much through, you know, just your first year of marriage.
Right.
And it's a matter of, you know, working together, communicating, and then allowing each other to heal separately but together.
Right.
People, you know, to focus too much on healing separately, and then I'm like, okay, well, you know, you still have a partner there, that went through the same exact thing that you know, in a different way.
Right.
And so it's trying to understand, not trying to be like, oh, well, what I went through is worse than you because I'm the woman that, no. You know what I mean?
There's
he had to watch that happen to me, you know?
Sure.
So I feel like for people to work through it, you just have to communicate and talk. And then if you don't want to talk about it, just leave it alone. Don't pick at it.
Right.
Wait.
So you feel like you need to like really heal separately, but at the same time like come together at some points. For sure.
Yeah, it's a different. We're not gonna be like, oh, you okay? Yeah, I'm good.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're not okay. What's wrong? You want to talk about it? No, not right now. Okay, let me know when you want to talk about it.
Right.
I'm not gonna pick at you. You know what I mean? People be like, well, you need to talk to me because that's what I used to do. I'm like, well, you need to talk to me. If you don't want to talk to me about it, I'll wait. Right. If you don't want to talk about it, you know what I mean? Just let me know. Like I'm working through it. Just let you know your own progress.
Right. So my personal trainer in high school, who like he became like my dad, like my dad to me. Max, my bohemian dad. That's what I always call him. He's like my white son. What's up? And he's just hilarious, dude. He's the best. He had 5 boys, so I mean that's like no wonder he's a personal trainer, right? Because like he just knows how to handle like kids and stuff like that, especially boys, right? And dude, just like he was like my dad to me, and like his son passed away recently. And and it's weird because I get emotional for other people more than I get emotional for myself. Yeah. But like, dude, when I remember I was out of town and like, I just remember him telling me about it and dude, I couldn't sleep. I was like, I can't imagine, because his son was so young, no one even knows what happened to him or why it happened. Right. But it just like tore me inside, like, cause like. I don't know. Like it kept me up, and I was like, I felt like, dude, I want to call him, I want to talk to him. I'm like, I don't know if I should talk to him because what if I'm annoying him? You know what I mean? And it's just from that outside perspective. That's how I saw it.
And that's what happened. Like but the thing is that a lot of don't laugh at my stuttering ass. You know I stutter. The thing is that I had a lot of fake people, you know what I mean? You have the people who don't care, but just want to know what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, oh, so you know what I mean? And it's just all like,
like
it's like, yo, bro, do you really care? You care about my feelings or not, nigga? Like, what's up? It's like, is it real? Do you care about me? Y'all like, am I your friend? Right. Do you truly let me know? Okay, you know what I mean?
And that's the thing with Max was, I didn't want him, because, like, I mean, we're like this. So I didn't want him to think I was being fake by not talking to him. But I was like, I'm like, because he calls me his son. Like, we're close.
So you just reach out, and then if they, you know, I had people, like, every 2 weeks or so would be like, hey, just checking up on you. And, like, even if I'd be like, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? I still responded, but like, when it first happened, like, I was out of it. Like, you know. I didn't know what was happening, but you know, I pushed through. Without him, I don't know how I would have been able to do it.
That's
honestly,
incredible.
that's my rock right there.
That's incredible.
And that's the thing. Like everybody, that's why everybody needs someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
I feel like everybody just needs someone, and that's why like I support what you're doing. You know what I mean? I support your podcast.
Thank you.
I support what everybody like. I tell him
You should get one, dude.
Oh, I want to so bad.
he
Yeah.
likes streaming on his.
Oh, really?
He likes
I'm
Warzone.
about to get into that.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of stuff lined up.
Oh, really? He's like, I got a bunch of stuff. Don't
Look
worry.
at him,
Don't
look
worry
at
about
him.
me. I got a bunch of stuff lined up.
Yeah. I got things. Yeah. I'm on podcast.
That's awesome. Yeah, you just got to do it. That's it. Because, I mean, look, this is like the
Yeah,
shittiest
I literally
production
be
ever,
telling
but-
everybody about.
Dope as fuck.
I tell
Yeah.
everybody about it.
Yeah, well, I need, like, a camera and everything, but whatever. But, well, yeah, no, dude, just start it. That's all you got to do is just start it, honestly. Yeah, that's like the first thing. Like, my first one's embarrassing. Like, I'm talking about fucking porn and shit, like joking around. And then I went on a podcast and, what was it? And my buddy Marcos's podcast and his cousin, like, there was a girl there and she's like, I went back and watched your first pod. I was like, man, I did not think girls would be watching my first pod. I was like, you're so beautiful. Why would you watch that? Like, why would you taint your ears and eyes with that? Like, it's terrible. But honestly, I don't leave it. Even people who are like, bro, just you need to delete that, which is only like 2 people. My other friends are like, no, fuck that, dude.
Just
Leave
keep
that,
it. I know you gotta
leave that
start
there.
somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta like literally. When I look, he laughs every time my old singing videos pop up, and I'm just all like, oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, it's like the shower singing videos.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh.
There's a lady at the gym, and she would like just sing her ass. She's not good, so like you know, and she would just sing her ass off. But it was like I get singing to yourself, but she was like projecting off the walls and bouncing into everyone's ear hole. I was like, God damn, shut the fuck up. And recently, like, I don't know, man. She came back in. I was like, I heard her voice, and I was like, that's that bitch.
He's like,
I was like, I know that bitch's voice. I know it.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's incredible. So I got this question, right?
no, yeah, hit me with it.
Do
Hit me
you ever
with it.
watch? Do you watch Rogan? You ever watch Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch. Have you like Miley Cyrus?
Yes, he shows me. Yeah.
You do?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So like, Rogan had Miley Cyrus on there, right?
Mhm.
By the way, I didn't know how cool of a fucking person she was.
Yeah,
She's
she is.
cool as
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah, dude.
Like she's awesome.
Her
like,
music, I love her music. What she's
I do
making
too.
now compared to, you know, she evolved.
She definitely evolved.
Yes.
But okay, so that's what I'm talking about. This is
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
And like, she talks about how I can't remember what she said about a traumatic experience happened to her. She felt like it like almost unlocked this channel that she's never hit before.
Yep.
Is that real?
Yes.
Because I know you've been through
Bro.
trauma, so that's why I'm asking.
Let me tell
like-
you about this recent trauma
boy,
of mine, okay? So, you know, I'm a type 1 diabetic.
Okay.
So,
Wait, does that mean you were born?
no. So,
Or-
remember
okay.
I don't think
I
you
knew
guys
that for some
remember
reason,
I
but-
got in a car accident. Remember? And I had 2nd-degree burns. I had posted about it.
I don't know.
So I
I feel bad. I don't remember.
No,
how.
I got in a car accident, and I had 2nd-degree burns, and so I turned into a type 1. My pancreas got damaged, so basically, the amount of insulin that your body makes, my body doesn't produce
Right,
enough.
right.
So I'm a type 1 diabetic now.
Good lord.
So your sugar is supposed to be from, it just depends on the diabetic, but they want me to keep mine like between like 80 and like 120.
Right.
Mine was 1300. I had a seizure and I died. This was on Valentine's Day, just recently.
Oh my god.
That's why I was.
Yeah, so what's up?
Yeah, dude.
Had a seizure.
I had a seizure and then I
They said her
died.
Heart stopped.
Yes.
They brought her
I
back.
went unresponsive in the ambulance and I woke up in the ICU.
Did you wait? So was it
When you had messaged me,
okay? But okay, so it was on Valentine's Day. But did you know you were type 1 diabetic?
yes.
Okay,
My sugar
cool.
just got too high randomly.
Right.
Like
You weren't eating the chocolates on Valentine's Day.
we hadn't even.
No?
No, like literally,
Well,
like
that's what I'm trying to.
it was the next day, like Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
The next day, like I had died,
Right.
so I was dead on.
You died for.
Yeah, it was like at 12 on Valentine's around. It was like
died and came back to life.
Yes,
Right? Okay.
yes, dude.
Like literally, like
yes,
actually.
dude,
Like
yes.
deadass, like,
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like you flatlined.
So that
and then,
yes, so that
What?
unlocking, yes, that's a real thing. Like I feel like it helped unlock like my
Something
my inspiration
for,
even
for
more.
singing.
Yeah.
Right? Well. Hold on. Wait. Did you go to another place when like you died?
I
Like,
saw
I'm
the
just-
light, man.
Did you really?
I don't want to sound crazy, but
No,
I saw
I
no,
don't. Like I just.
no, I
wanna know.
did. No, on some real shit, I did. I shit
Really?
you not. I saw my daughter. It was weird.
That's
I
crazy.
didn't. I don't think I was out enough to see my dad.
I hope we're good.
Let me know.
It'll be okay. Let me know.
I don't think I was out enough to see my dad because they passed away like 2 days apart.
Really?
He passed away on May 17th.
God, you just haven't gotten a break. You both just haven't gotten a break, dude.
He passed away on the 17th, and then she passed away on the 19th, same week.
Wow.
And so I don't think I was out enough. But that unlocking thing, it does.
Right.
Yeah.
It happens.
Mhm.
And that's the thing is like that's what I heard. So like when you go to sing now, is it different before those moments?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like night and day difference.
Oh my gosh, like I feel it. It's an unexplainable feeling. Like I feel it everywhere.
Right.
It's like what people like when you go skydiving. It's that same adrenaline rush.
Right.
My heart starts pumping. I'm in the mic, and it's the best feeling. It
That's
really
crazy.
is.
Well, it's crazy how it's like an actual physical change to your voice too.
It, like my register is so much lower. Like I'll
Really?
yeah.
That's a good. Well, because like if you and I always use this example. I've talked about this a million times, but on here. But like I said, I don't really like country that much, but and I don't really classify this guy as country. But like Johnny Cash, everybody knows Johnny Cash. Like
I like Tennessee whiskey.
okay, that's an incredible song. Everybody likes that song. That's like everyone's favorite country song.
You're as sweet
Sing it.
as a strawberry wine.
That's good. I love that song. For Stapleton. Yeah. Well,
Yeah. How do you like the chicken?
That's amazing.
I
I like that
chicken
song.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's incredible. I do like it a lot. But I was talking about with Johnny Cash, he did a song called "Hurt." It's a cover song to like a rock song. You know that song "Hurt" by 9 Inch Nails? "Hurt." Yeah, that song. That song. Dude, if you listen to like old Johnny Cash versus that,
He was so old when he recorded that too.
he was old, and that's what I'm saying is like, dude, he did so many like he did heroin, he did so
That's
many
what I'm
drug
saying.
abuse, like
Yeah.
people, managers, like people just fucking him over. Like
Yeah.
he had all this. I'm pretty sure he had a son died or something. A lot of people dying in his life. He just like that song when you hear it, you're like, God.
Yeah, and like the
damn.
thing is,
It's so
you have
much
to-
like
you have to
sorrow
go
in
through
it.
something similar to
Right.
empathize with him to feel
Right.
that emotion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. That's how I feel all the time with all music. Like I was just telling him, I don't even I listen to the words when people with music, but it's really the beat. You know what I mean? I listen to what they put together, what instrument. I'm like, babe, do you know? I was like, do you know
Yeah, I
what
know.
instrument?
Probably have to get out
Yeah.
soon, but we'll be okay.
Okay. Yeah. Just
Well, whenever you guys feel like it.
I'm cool.
Okay.
Whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just chilling. Yeah. You let me know.
No, and that's the truth, because when you hear, especially when artists are like, and I always go back to rap because that's like what I know best. But like when you hear, actually, I read 50 Cent's book and he even quoted this. He's like, look, Tupac wasn't like he's like in my opinion not like better than Biggie as in like lyricist wise. He wasn't that. He didn't like say harder stuff than Eminem. He wasn't funny like Biggie. He wasn't like smart like Jay-Z, but he's like he had more passion than anyone else. And it's crazy because like I was never the hugest Tupac fan until like probably like 14, 15 when I really started understanding him. Like, dude, everything he says is so fucking like everything's passionate. There's nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so much into it and you feel it. And it's like also like when I said like I'm a stan, like I love Eminem. When you hear old Eminem, you're like, this dude is pissed off.
Right.
Versus now, like he's not. It's like fake mad. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like old is like, dude, this guy is fucking like he went through something. Same with almost every other rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you hear them when they're younger, they're fucking pissed off and mad.
Yep.
DMX, you hear them when they're pissed off
Right.
and mad. addicted to crack, whatever. Like they're just
Right.
pissed off, dude.
Like,
and then you
like
hear
Eminem
it.
said, he was like, "Oh, what song? I don't know. I can't remember which song you were playing, but he was.
Was it new? I actually do like.
He was
new
like,
stuff,
"Oh,
but-
now that I have money, like, oh, I can't rap about being
Oh,
broke anymore."
I can't rap about. I can't. They said I can't rap about being broke no more, but they said I can't rap about coke no more.
Yeah, yeah,
Slut, you think I won't choke no
Yeah.
more? So my vocal cords won't work my throat no more? Yeah, I know that whole
yeah. But it's all like, people just because you get famous, that doesn't, some people, that doesn't change who they are at heart. You know what I mean? But society wants you to. Oh, well, you're not in that position no more. So why are you talking about
Right.
it? You're like, well, I've been through it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I that's why it's so important to me as an artist. I'm gonna tell my story, what I've been through. You know what I mean? And if you relate to it, that's awesome. Because there's always gonna be someone who doesn't like your music, and that's
Right,
okay.
that's okay.
But I'm making the music for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you like what you hear,
Right.
tune in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's all that matters.
That is all that matters, because when people want, like, oh, I want this person to like it, I want this many views, I want this much money with it, it's like, but then you're just taking the, like, I'm gonna fuck up this word right now. Authenticity.
Authenticity.
Authenticity. I don't know why I can't.
We helping each other out, man.
I couldn't say it. I know I couldn't say it at that moment. But I had to warn everybody. But that is so true. It's like with this podcast, people are like, oh, well, do you just want like this many views and this many? I was like, I mean, not like, thanks, Mom. No. That's so sweet. No.
As a chocolate girl, Luke.
That's messed up.
No, I feel that. I really do.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know.
It's
You kind of
it's
threw me off. I kind of forgot what we were talking about for a second.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Go back to.
You're talking about
Authentic,
yes.
because people care too much,
Yes,
especially about
about-
the money.
yes,
and
the
everything.
critics and
like
everything.
it will come. It's just you gotta like you get your fans and stuff.
Right.
But you can't like. I don't know. You can't please everybody. I
Right,
guess
and
is
you
what
gotta.
you're saying.
My thing is, keep your circle small. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some crazy people out here. There really is, and there's people who don't want to see you happy. They don't
Right.
want to see you win. So,
Yeah.
just focus on the main goal, the bigger picture.
Right.
That's my goal.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one thing. This thing is so crazy. Technical bit. You got some paranormal activity going on. It does that so much. I don't know what it is. Like I don't know what, but it's usually okay. So whatever. But no, it is true. But I know that's like such a generic thing. Like, oh, keep your circle small. But it's like, dude, when you have like, for example, when me and this is like, and everyone's gonna get so annoyed by me saying this like a million times, but to like my 5 fans who watch, right?
No.
But like when me and my stepdad got into a fight, and he broke my face, and we were just like done. And I knocked out his teeth, so I still think I won. It's like, let's be real. My face healed. He still has like 2 missing teeth.
Oh
so
my
let's
gosh.
be real here, okay? Who won? Yeah, solid, right? Yeah, thank you. So, anyways, but when that happened, like all like the friends who were like cool with him too were like still hanging out with him after
Right.
we were done, and I was like, I get it. It's not about like he said, she said, but I was
Right.
like, bro, he's like in his 40s. Like
Right.
you're still gonna hang
He's
out
grown.
with him
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I thought we were boys, you know what I mean? And I wasn't trying to be like that, and I was like, whatever, like, I get it. I didn't take it like that, but I knew that, like, we just couldn't hang out like we used to anymore.
Right.
You know?
No, I get that, because there's a lot of people that they were scared to hang out with me. They didn't know how I was gonna react. But I was
Right.
like, well, why don't you come over and find out? Check on how I'm doing.
Right.
Don't text me. I'm obviously not able to text you. You know what I mean? So like I appreciate the people who actually reach out. It takes a village, but you got to find people that are actually down for your craft and down for you.
For sure.
Because them fake people will slowly pluck themselves out.
Right.
Because you ask them to do something, it's just all like, oh.
Right. Yeah, you realize, like, we're the favors.
yeah.
Like, I did you a favor, but now you can't do me this favor. It's kind of like, you know what I mean?
So I'm at the point, like, it'll come. If it comes, it'll come around. But I'm not gonna sit up there and lose sleep over it. You know, that's why I'm saying like when we were trying to end the works, like whenever you were busy, you know, whenever you're busy or something
Right.
came up, you know, you go with the flow.
Right,
Because eventually, if it's meant to come together, it'll come together.
For sure.
So
For sure. Yeah, well, and that's another thing, like, we talked about, like, through, like, text and stuff, and this is kind of off topic, but kind of not. We were talking about earlier at the beginning, like, you say something, like, if you said a joke right now, it'd be, like, funny. Everyone would laugh.
Right.
But, like, you hear it, like, someone typed it down, it's like, God damn, what this motherfucker
Right,
say? Like,
right.
what? You know what I mean? And it's the same with text. Like, you ever text someone, it's like, I feel like they had a fucking attitude.
Right,
when they
yup.
said it. You know what I mean? I feel
But
like that
with
wasn't,
my
you know?
siblings, I know they did have an attitude though. You
Oh,
know
okay,
what I mean?
well, that's different 'cause you
when
know your
when you're
siblings,
siblings,
so.
but like with people, sometimes that's why I'll record something faster than I'll text. I'm barely on my phone as is anymore, you know. But I do understand. I feel like people do get too sensitive about certain stuff,
Right.
or they read it in their head wrong, and then it starts unnecessary.
Right.
It's happened a lot.
Yes, that's happened too many times.
People take a lot of shit out of context, and it's like, look, bro,
I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I
like-
did not mean it like that. Like.
Right.
I was just letting you know your shoes untied.
Right, bro, I'm not trying to.
I'm not trying to get at you, letting you know
Yeah.
you're gonna fall.
Yup.
You know? When you
Yeah,
do,
anything you should be thanking me.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yup.
they get all pissy.
Mm.
And it's like, bro,
And that's what I
Right.
feel. I feel like our generation's too cutthroat.
What do you mean by cutthroat?
They want to get to the top. You know, you want to get to the top, but like
Right.
you have family and friends that help you get to the top. So then, you know, once you get to where you are, some
Right.
people just cut. You know,
For sure. And another thing
and
is
it's
like,
different if they used you. You
Right.
know what I mean? But like if they've been there for you,
well, and it's also like no one's done it just on their own. Like,
Yeah.
you could have not had a lot of help, but at the
Right.
same time, like, you still had people
Yup.
helping you out. Like, I got this mic from, shout out to Omar. Like, I'm gonna thank Omar for giving me this mic. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just like, oh, I did this all. Like, I hate when
Yep.
oh, I did this all by myself.
yep. And that's why you gotta stay
you
humble,
didn't. You know
regardless
what
of
I mean?
how famous you get. That's my biggest focus is staying humble and staying
Right.
grounded.
For sure.
And I think having my family and friends, you know what I mean, the ones that are truly in my corner, or truly in your corner, you know,
Right.
having people like that, that's what will keep people going to the top and being successful in their
Right.
craft. Like never forgetting where you come from.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing.
There's always like, I feel like there's things that like some people do to like stay humble. Like if you like you just drive a Honda Civic instead of driving a Lambo, you know what I
Right.
mean? Or drive like, you know what I mean, just to
Yeah.
stay humble.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It makes sense because it
Pick and
gives
choose
you
your battles.
right.
Cause
Right.
I ain't trying to be broke forever, Luke.
Yeah,
you feel
no,
me?
definitely not.
So if you can have that high, you know, that high maintenance mentality, but you know, learn to humble yourself because I used to love getting my nails done all the time. You know what I mean? If you can't afford it, why am I gonna make myself broke to do
Right.
it? You know what I mean?
Right. Now you got me looking at your nails. I was like,
No,
"You get
I
them
mean
done?"
they're, you know what I mean. But it's like the unnecessary. Like I didn't have to have my nails done all the time,
Right.
but I was making myself broke to
Right.
keep my nails
Yeah,
done.
for
You know what I
sure.
mean?
For sure.
Like once if you aren't able to do it, you know what I mean, grind hard so you're able to do it, but don't
Yeah.
lose sight of everything. Be like, oh, I need this, I need this. Well, I didn't have it before, you know what I mean,
Right.
so why am I gonna need this much now? Because I am gonna, I'm gonna get my get my outfit right, you know what I mean. I'm gonna be looking right,
Looking okay.
but
you
it's not
just
gonna
might
break my bank,
Right.
you know what I mean.
Right, yeah, for sure. Because you got sometimes I'm like, man, I need some new shoes, and I'm like, nah, not today. Or sometimes I want
Right.
to go to Quick Trip and get a bunch of shit. I'm like, nah, not today. And
Right.
Just get gassed. dude.
Yeah,
Like, don't
like-
be getting the extra shit. You know,
Yeah, we're at that age where we're learning
I
how
love
to.
Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree's the shit.
Dollar
dude.
Tree is my spot.
Yeah.
Yes.
When me and Savannah moved into our apartment, it was like Dollar Tree was the fucking setup. We were
Mhm.
like, all right, let's go here. Let's get this.
I mean, it's the same stuff, really.
Yeah.
it's
Oh
the-
yeah, it is.
it's
It's
the
just
same
like
stuff.
it's just cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've always liked shops. I love Walmart. I love
Right.
Walmart.
There's certain.
yeah.
Well, there's certain. What I'm saying is, there's certain things that you can pay outright for, pay expensive for, but it doesn't have to be everything. There's
You
certain.
need sugar, go to Dollar Tree. It's a
Yeah,
dollar.
it's a
Right.
dollar.
It's the same sugar you're getting.
Right.
If
at
I want
some
candy,
expensive-
if I want
Yeah.
candy, you know, it's expensive at the gas stations and at Walmart. I can
$3
go
might get you
to
for
the
$1.10.
dollar store
Right.
and get the same candy.
Right. Yeah.
Same candy, man.
I be doing that with gas. I'm like, is this place cheaper than this place? I'm always
With
looking
gas,
at
I mean,
Yeah.
gas is gas. I'm gonna need it. You
Yeah, I know
what
you're gonna need it.
You know, I'm gonna
gotta-
need it.
You gotta waste a quarter tank, like
Right, right.
a gas station to go to for just 2 cents. I'm like, man, yeah, saving money is real. That's another thing I wish they would have taught us in school was how to save money.
See, and that's the thing. They taught that at Washburn.
Did they really?
Yeah, they taught
Wow.
that.
What? Like what? Like how? Like what?
Like
exactly?
you had business classes, finance classes.
Is this a private school?
No,
What the fuck, like, dude?
it was a public school. They're just bougie as hell, bro.
But that's good because it teaches you how to deal with real life. You know what I
it
mean?
taught you how to deal with real life, but there's still a lot of stuff about high school that needs to change. You know what I mean? Because they
100%.
changed the curriculum.
Really, like, because of COVID.
No. I'm
just in
saying
general?
like the curriculum at our high school where we graduated. They changed the curriculum after we left for the whole district.
Right.
So there's more requirements for the younger generation now.
Well, that's good.
I think they put business classes in there because I'm like, it was an extra credit
Right.
then. So and you're like, oh, another credit, another class, like fuck that. No,
Right.
like I'm not gonna do it. And then you get out in the real world, you're like, oh well,
Fuck.
yeah, I probably should have
Well,
did that.
my senior year, I did, because I was supposed to be, like, in a higher up math class. Not, like, too high, though. It was, like, medium, smart, I guess,
Right,
whatever.
dude. That's where I was.
Yeah.
I was not in no
but
trigonometry.
I
but
told her-
weren't we in the same math class?
We were in, I think we were in geometry.
Yeah,
together.
we had the same-
Or- Wait, was it Miss Bledsoe or Miss
Yes.
Brown? It was Miss
Bledsoe.
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 Was
Yes,
a shit. I love
yes.
Miss Bledsoe. She was cool. Fuck Miss Brown. I hated that bitch. She was mean. She was so mean. She made
Bro.
me feel stupid. I'm not
Bro.
stupid. I'm not good at
There's
math.
there's so many teachers I had beef with. Like
Yeah,
I've
for
literally
sure.
had beef with teachers. Like I'll be like, you're supposed to be teaching. Like why do you have a problem with me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's your face had a problem with everybody but me? The blonde chick who had the DUI and everyone always.
Sullivan.
Sullivan, you hated it.
Yup, that's yup.
Dude,
Ooh.
he hated everyone in that class
Listen,
but
bro.
me. I don't know why.
Listen, I'm grown now. I'm grown now. What's up?
I think she liked the way.
You
I
see
think
these
she kinda-
biceps?
Yeah, I was looking. I was like, damn, your arms look buff as
You
fuck
see these
here.
biceps?
biceps.
Listen, ma'am.
We working.
You wanna have beef with a 17-year-old? I'm gonna be 22 now.
Right.
What's up?
Bring it.
What's up?
She was like nuts.
Bro, she like
was
kicked
on
me out of the
another level.
class. She kept kicking me out of the class. I was playing basketball with my friends and I got a concussion. I told her I had a concussion. You know, you have to alert the office or whatever. She's like, well, they didn't tell me that. She's like, well, you have this, this, and this. And I'm like, listen, I'm not doing it.
Right.
I was like, I'm not even supposed to be here, but, you know, I couldn't stay home.
I did not like her. I didn't like her, but she was always super nice to me. So I was like, I felt bad for everyone else, but I don't know why she was nice
Bro,
to me.
so I got a story to tell you. It's really funny. I'll be really quick.
No, you're fine. I'm listening.
It's funny. So, do you remember Olivia Naft?
Was she-
That was my dog, and she's my dog. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so we were going to class, and Miss Sullivan was like, "Oh, they have chicken in the teachers' lounge," and I said, "Chicken?" And she was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Are you gonna go get some?" She's like, "Y'all can go get a piece," and I was like, "Are you serious?" Because I'm like, "I will leave your class," and she's like, "We'll be back before the bell, right?" So me and Olivia went to go get a piece of chicken.
Right.
We walked into the teachers' lounge, and you know, you're not supposed to do that. But they let us have it,
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? She was pissed. And so she picked on me for like the rest of the class, bro. Like it was hilarious. Hilarious. I just started pissing her off just to piss her off. I just started
Right.
pissing her off just to piss her off. I'm like, it doesn't matter, you know, you're so mad that I'm bold and that I will buck back at you.
Right, right.
So I'm like, what's up? You know what I mean? Let's do it.
I can definitely see.
And I'm passing your class, so let's do
So
it.
let's
You know what
do
I mean?
it, yeah.
I'm not, you know what I mean?
I always,
I'm not uneducated, so let's go.
So let's go. I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yes.
Bitch. 2 + 2, not knowing what the fuck it is.
Right.
I
I was like,
I only argued with I didn't argue with really any time. I argue with Miss Cormack a lot.
Miss Cormack?
Yeah, I argue with
love
her
her.
a lot. I liked her, but we just argued.
I
all
love
the
her
time.
to death.
I do. No, I really do like her, but like we just would always.
But
go
I
back
think
and
it's
forth.
just a matter of it's this that teacher. The teacher student, you like.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
Yeah.
she always gave her opinion a lot. I was like, well, I don't agree with that. And then we just go back and forth on something. I'm like, and then she gets so mad. She's like, Luke, I'm trying to tell you that this is. I was like, okay, but like this is just my opinion. Like we can talk about it. But that's a cool part about her. As much as like we disagreed, like she was hella cool about it. You know what I mean? Like she's.
Because I had Riker. Yeah.
Riker.
I don't know.
Ricker?
Ricker.
I don't remember.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I didn't have them, but I know.
But shout out to you, because I love him. I had an A.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I had an A, and I was like an AB ish in Cormac.
Yeah, Mr. Rose. Mr. Rose was cool. Mr. Rose was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I like Mr. Rose.
I don't know. I just really liked that school, the dynamic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because honestly, dude, like this 3 high schools in 4 years is a lot to deal with. It's a lot of change, a lot of adjustment. You know what I mean?
And that's the easiest. North is just easy. It was definitely easy to adjust to. I felt like.
Yes, especially with the Black History program, you could find yourself in different crowds. That's what I liked, because like in other places, you're stuck here. You know what I mean? You don't hang out. We don't hang out with people over there. You know what I mean? Like literally, like I was so bougie at Piper. On Pink, we wore like, oh my gosh. On Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, we wore pink. Jeez. Like, we really did. Like, I set it up like that. Right. Yes. Like, we was like some mean girls out here. Like, but like, we all, we were the melanin mean girls. You feel me? Okay. You feel me?
You can make that a movie.
Oh my gosh. Mean Girls. That, you know what? I would get in. Would you get into acting?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I actually did a movie with my buddy. And it was like low budget and stuff, but it was pretty good. But he edited it. It wasn't good when it came out. He re-edited it, and it was pretty decent. Yeah. But he's doing one right now, and I think it's good. He's gonna be really good director for sure.
See, and I feel like everybody just.
Who would be in that though? The Melanin Mean Girls.
I don't know. You know, I got some girls out there. You know.
Like famous or like your girls.
You know, a little bit of both. Shout out to. Let's see. Who do I want to shout out? I want to work with Janelle Monáe. She's from Kansas City.
What is she in?
She's in Hidden Figures. She was in with Taraji P. Henson.
The wait, is it which one is she in Hidden Figures?
Let me see. She sings Tightrope. You know?
It's not the same girl from Ma, is it? Because she's in Hidden Figures too.
No, not her.
Not her.
It's the one.
That movie sucked. I was pretty pissed because I wanted to go see it.
It's her. She's from Kansas City.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know exactly. I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Yes.
What else is she in? She's in something. She's in like a music video or something weird. I can't remember. But yeah, I know exactly who that is. Yeah, for sure.
I would definitely. She's definitely inspiration.
Right.
Yeah, I'd have her, Taraji P. Henson. You know, all my melanin women out there.
What you wanted to talk about this and what? Okay, so my question to you is like, for like Black History Month, like being taught. What do you think what is the standard that should be taught? Like, what specifically needs to be taught?
That's the thing, because where I grew up, they didn't celebrate Black History.
Right.
Like, I'd be the only Black child in the classroom.
Right. Child.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really like start looking into history until I got down here. So I feel like it's just setting the, Rosa Parks, all the good people, but having everyone look into someone besides the main people, you know what I mean? They teach the main people who they, in history, want people to know.
It definitely is, because American history likes to take shit out.
Yes.
Because of how racist we've been. We take shit out. Like, I'm pretty sure, Paul Revere, he was a Jewish dude, so they were like, no,
and I feel
we're not doing that. And so they made up Paul Revere.
And I feel like taking that out, we need to have those discussions. We need to, people need to feel uncomfortable, because in order, instead of getting defensive, because I feel like every, black, white, it doesn't matter your nationality. In general, everybody gets defensive when you try having a talk about race.
Race, yes.
And it should be a matter of understanding each other. You know what I mean? I'm not I'm not trying to think I'm better than you.
Right.
But, you know, you need to understand we live different lives, and we're
100%.
subjected to completely different things
Right.
when it comes to, like, you know, racial bias and all the things that happen in the world. People have to understand that, not get defensive.
Right. That's one thing that, like... Sorry, the thing...
No, you're fine.
I think it's lightning back. One thing people always say is, like... And I kind of don't like it because this is how I look at it. Everyone's like, well, everybody's racist. And I was like, no, that's not true. Everybody has cultural blind spots.
Yep.
Because, like, and that doesn't even have to be black, white, Hispanic, whatever. It could be, like, how my family versus your family. Like, even if you're the same race, it's like, dude, my cousins are... My cousins, I'll say my cousins, are rich as fuck. You know what I mean? Like... This is nice, but this wasn't this when I was a kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, when I went over there, I was like, what the fuck? You guys got that big of a TV? Goddamn. You know what I mean? It's like, so, it's like a cultural blind, and the stuff that, everything was different. So, it's like, I had a cultural blind spot to how they were raised versus how I was raised. And I had a single mom, and then I went to go see my dad sometimes on the weekend. So, like, also that, too. Like, there's always a cultural blind spot. And I think there's, like, and I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. Like, there's a lot of racism that's, like, subtle. You know what I mean? And I see that, and I'm like...
Yeah.
You know
and
what I mean?
I think that's, like, what the eye-opener is, like, you need to have friends that are willing to understand and not get defensive.
Right.
Who are willing to defend you when they see that you are being subjected to racism.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's why I love Justin, because it's a matter of, you know, he sees it. And he gets it, you know what I mean? He'll never, you know, be able to understand it fully, but he gets it, you know what I mean?
Right.
He gets me. He gets that people look at us differently, being an interracial couple.
Yeah, you get the stares, because I've dated black girls before, and you get the stares. And I'm like, why the fuck is everyone staring?
Yeah.
And she was like, well, what do you think?
Yeah.
Whoa, I was like, what? Oh, I'm a white dude. Okay. And she's like, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yep, and I feel like with my name and people who having, like, you know, harder names to say and pronounce, like, my name's Alitea, and, you know, people actually, I've seen, like, people get upset at me for correcting them, but I'm like, listen, this is my name, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck you. This
I'm
is
like,
my
put some
name.
respect on my shit,
Yeah.
please.
You know, some people say my name like. They read my name, I'm like, what the? There's a fucking you there.
Right.
Where the fuck did you get like?
Yeah.
And that's such a standard, like...
Yeah,
look,
and I feel like people need to be more respectful, you know what I mean?
for sure.
Oh, well, it's just, you know, I slang it. No, put some respect on people's names. These are people, you know what I mean? These are people. They have feelings.
Right, right. Yeah, no, you're right. Well, and that's what I wanted to talk about, is because, like, there really is, like, no matter what, there's always those cultural blind spots that you just don't understand. And there's obviously, like, and maybe to some people it's not as obvious as others, but it's like, okay, there's like the subtle racism, and then there's just like someone who just doesn't understand. Like, they're just ignorant to it. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, like, when I was growing up, or when my mom worked in KCK and I hung around all Hispanic kids, I remember in 2016 when Trump got elected, I went to a party and I was like, I didn't even think of it. I was going to a party. I was the only white dude there, and the mom was like, what the fuck's this white boy doing here? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is the first time I've, you know what I mean? Because I was like, dude, I hung out with Hispanic kids my whole life. I was like, I never even thought about, you know what I mean? She's
that's a shocker. Because people have to understand, it's like, it's not only white people who can be, you know, prejudiced or racist. Like, other races can. And that's the thing, like, people have to specify. It's like, black is not even, it's not even a race, though. You know, it's a classification. You know what I mean? Because my grandma, her family, they are like Creole and European and come from England. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you have to find yourself. Like, what is your actual nationality? Like, don't just say, oh, I'm black or I'm white. Like, find yourself. Where do you come from? You know what I mean? Have a little bit more pride and more respect for people and where they come from. You know what I mean? Because for people to say, oh, we'll get over slavery, I'm like, well, slavery is what we've had to overcome. And are still over. Yes.
Still, that's another thing that people don't understand. And that's what I talked about with these two guys that I had on my podcast, and the fucking video got deleted, and I was so mad, but it was such a great video. But they're YouTubers, and they had a really big video because there were two black dudes who went to a Trump rally, so it like blew up. Like it was pretty obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, man, you guys stuck out like
You
a sore
bold.
thumb. Yeah, I was like, but we talked about what were we? What was I gonna say? Sorry, I was.
The Trump rally.
Trump rally. No, not even just that. Like what we were talking. Oh, this is what I want to say. The thing is, like, with that, there's like, okay, there's always the correction that I have with family members who are poor and white, and like they have the ignorance of like, well, I don't have white privilege because I'm like, I get where you're coming from because you're a mechanic, you don't feel that you don't want like you had a bad end of the
stick. You feel like you've had a struggle. You know
what I mean? You did. And to a sense, he doesn't have class privilege, but I'm like, but you still have white privilege because no one's judging you for being white.
Because listen,
they're judging you for how you
They don't know if you're rich or poor, but if I got pulled over and you got pulled over,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when we get pulled over, they'll like look in the car like, oh, you know what I mean?
Right. So, yeah, for sure. And that's what I'm saying. I was like, when you get pulled over, because like. When I had my Jeep and I had long hair, I got pulled over, and cops would be fucking, they're like, oh, you got some weed in the car. Like, I've had them actually ask, like, you got weed in the car? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't really have to answer that.
Yeah, I might not have to answer that. But they automatically assume because I had a big truck, or like a big Jeep and like long blonde hair, I look like and I look like a stoner, but, you know, it's like, okay, but that's still, even that, I'm like, that's still not, like, oh,
that's not a reason.
I could easily be like, I don't have white privilege,
Right.
I was like, okay, but that wasn't because I'm white. It was because of like the way I looked. It's not because of the color of my skin. Like there's a difference, you know.
Yep.
But I tell that to like people who are like in my family who they did have the bad end of the stick, and they're like, nope.
And that's just a matter of you're not ready to you're not ready to go there. Some people just aren't ready.
For sure.
Sorry, I'm just waiting for that big boom.
Some people just aren't ready for it, and so with those type of people, you love them from a distance, and keep it pushing. You know what I mean? That's why I don't want people to think you shitting on other people, but like sometimes for your mental sanity, you have to step back from people.
Right.
You have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You have to take time for yourself. Oh, that was pretty.
That was pretty. That was. No, you are right, because I had an uncle that he's like, because dude, and the weird thing is like all of my uncles, he acts different because he's the youngest, so he was raised like way differently than my other uncles from where they're from. Like they're from a whole other side of town than where he is, so his perspective on shit's way different. And he's just like, I don't know. Me and him got into it, and he like deleted me off everything. I was like, bro, you're just mad because I have a different opinion than you. You know?
And that's the thing, like, we're getting older, though. Like, we're not little kids anymore. And I feel like it's hard for people to understand that. Yeah. It's like, I don't have to agree with what this person, I'm my own person now. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure. So, hold on, I just gotta say something. Back to what, like, you said about, like, taking pride in your race thing. Have you done the fucking ancestry
No,
thing?
but my cousin did. We have the same, okay, so his
White
grandpa.
people love to do that. They're
his
like,
grandpa,
I'm actually this.
His grandpa and my grandma are brother and sister, so they have the same parents. So their great grandpa is white. He's from England.
Right.
And so like.
You just what like yeah.
Yeah. So then like I'm like learning. I'm like I'm taking what he said and then learning because like my grandparents they adopted me. So like my mom wasn't really in my life like that, and my dad really wasn't until I turned 18.
Right.
But my mom, she was in and out, but she was there, and she's there now. So that's all that matters, regardless of whatever the past. Yes. I'm not gonna hold that against her. And so, but I didn't really know where I came from. So after us having a daughter, I took the time, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna find out what am I, what am I mixed with, what is my nationality? Like, yeah, you say you're black.
So did you figure it out?
I'm still working on it.
Are you still working?
Yeah,
I had mine, but I lost it. I was like, I'm still trying to find it.
Because like my dad was like, he was like Native American, and then the Creole European, and then that's my dad's side. I haven't even looked up what his grandparents are. I'm just working on my mom's side right now.
You know what's crazy about genetics though? What's crazy is like if you're, let's say, okay, if you are half white, half black, you and your sister, right? one of you can actually be more genetically black or genetically white than the other. Because it's like, it's
Yep.
not actually, it's about like you had some marbles and you just grabbed a pick,
Right.
like whatever you get the most of. Or like, you could be more European or more Native American than your
Right.
sister. Like, that's crazy to me.
And that's why I'm
just
excited
like,
I think I will do it.